You know, some places, some stories, they find a little crack in you and just seep in, and you can never get them out. This one is mine. I never believed in cursed places. Not really. I mean, I thought they were just campfire stories, you know? But that was before the night I spent in room 313. Look, it wasn't my choice. I need you to understand that. None of this was my choice. It felt like the night itself had picked me for that damned room. It was just a business trip, totally mundane, totally normal, but my usual place was full. So was every other hotel for 20 miles around. And then there was the Riverside Motel. One room left. Just one. The manager, he barely even looked at me. Just slid the key across the counter and muttered, "If you hear knocking from the mirror, don't answer." I kind of laughed it off, figured it was some local ghost story. He didn't laugh. The room, it just smelled wrong. Like bleach trying to cover up something metallic. You know, like old coins. And the mirror? God, this thing was huge, just bolted to the wall, taking up all the space. I moved, and my reflection, it lagged. Just a split second too slow. I told myself it was just a trick of the light, that I was tired. I had to tell myself that. I actually managed to fall asleep, but something pulled me right back out of it. A sound that just felt wrong. I glanced at the clock, 1:47 in the morning. And that's when I heard it, a soft, rhythmic tap, 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 like fingernails on glass. And it was coming from inside the mirror. My heart just stopped cold. I stared into that glass, and something moved. A shadow gliding across the room in the mirror. My room, but not my room. I grabbed my phone. I had to record it, prove I wasn't crazy, but the screen was just screaming static. It couldn't see it. I lowered the phone, and I looked. My reflection, it was smiling. A wide, stretched, predatory grin. But my own mouth, it was just a thin line of terror. I wasn't smiling. I didn't even think. I just ran. I threw the door open and just bolted into the hallway. The air out there felt thick, muffled, like I was moving through water. I couldn't breathe. I was sprinting past doors, and every single one said 313, 313, 313. No, this can't be happening. I grabbed a random handle, tore the door open, and just fell inside. And I was back in my room. And it was there, standing right in front of the mirror. It had been waiting for me. It turned its head. Its face was a blur, like smoke twisting in water. But the voice, oh God, the voice was like an echo of my own, only deeper, hollow, like it was coming from the bottom of a well. It said, "You left me here too long." And then reality just broke. The walls of my room started to ripple, the paint literally melting like wax. But in the mirror, the reflected room, the bed, the lamp, it was all perfectly, horribly still, solid. It looked more real than where I was standing. I was frozen. I couldn't move. I could only watch as the surface of the mirror shimmered like black water, and it stepped right through. I think I tried to scream, but no sound came out. Just this impossible cold clamping down on my throat. Its hands. And that voice, not in my ears, but inside my head, whispering, "You're on the wrong side now." And then just blackness. Nothing. The next thing I knew, I was waking up, in the bed. Sunlight was pouring in, just burning my eyes. I scrambled to the mirror, my heart just hammering, expecting, but no. It was just me. My reflection was normal. It moved when I moved. It had to have been a nightmare. It just had to be. I threw my stuff in my bag and pretty much ran to the front desk. That same manager was there. He wouldn't look at me. As I dropped a key on the counter, he just whispered, "You're the first one who ever came out." My blood ran cold. What are you talking about? And he finally looked up at me, and his eyes were just filled with this awful pity. He said, "Room 313? That room's been sealed shut since last winter. A guest died in there, strangled."
I didn't say anything else. I got in my car and I just drove as fast as I could. But you can't outrun something like that. It wasn't a memory anymore. It felt like a passenger. This cold dread that had planted itself deep inside me. For a few days, I tried to pretend life was normal. I told myself it was a hallucination, a stress-induced nightmare, anything but the truth. But that question just echoed in my mind, this cold spot in my soul. Then yesterday, I was just walking downtown. I glanced at a shop window, just a reflex, and my reflection, it didn't turn with me. It stopped. It just stood there on the other side of the glass watching me. I froze. And then it slowly started to smile. That same horrible wide grin. And it raised its hand.